This is a 2001 Acura CL 3.2 Type S neat car. Problem these things have that I've seen on other ones and you read about it online is they have fuel line issues under the intake. Of course, the intake is now off of this car and the intake is over here, and it has those neat valves in there. But anyway, that's a different deal. So we take the whole intake off, which is a very nice setup. You have to take the top cover off, take these bolts out here, and really kind of lifts off. There's a few other lines to take off, but it's pretty self-explanatory. But the fuel lines, these factory ones like this, end up leaking right at this joint here. And you can't get these things. At least I can't find them anywhere, and I've called everywhere. He's been doing them over the years. And so they leak and they spray fuel, makes the car smell bad, and becomes actually a fire hazard on these cars. So your fuel line comes in here, which eventually this one's gonna start leaking, and I'm gonna replace that one. I'm gonna leave it alone right now, and that joint there will start leaking. Then it goes into your fuel pressure regulator. And this line here was the current one that we just replaced. So what we did is took a Sawzall, hacked these things off right here, where that used to be in place here. Actually, this one goes back here, and then put in a piece of injector hose. So this is a fuel injector, you know, it's a 5/16 line, and basically we take them, put them on there really tight, push them way up on the metal where we cut the metal as short as possible to this thing, because this thing's useless, but you want to keep the metal on the lines here because these are the specialized pieces that go into your fuel rails on this car. So basically we're replacing this crimped on piece of rubber, which there's nothing wrong with the rubber, it's just these fittings, they start spraying on the side into the new ones. Now, I've never had the problem, but people say that these things will vapor lock when you do it this way. So I had these are spark plug boots for hot rods. Kind of, I would say they're probably even asbestos, and I got my hands all over them. But I put those over the lines to protect from heat. So that's gonna give it a little bit of heat shielding there. As a whole, you know, probably not great, but hey, it's better than nothing. And so there's no fuel leaks now. And if you're, you know, if you're real confident in your work, you can put it back together and hope it doesn't leak. But if you're not confident in your work, you can go in and jump the fuel pressure rate relay, which is, of course, down in the driver's side kick panel of this car up here. So basically you can jumper that, run your fuel pump, and then watch for any kind of leak that you may have there. I'm not gonna do it right now because it'll take too much time in the video, but that's it. So if you jumper that, the fuel will be cycling through your rails and your injectors, and you'll see where there's anything yet. I know, I can't remember what year there was a recall on these fuel pressure regulators on these cars. I think this is the newer type one, so it's supposedly the better one. It's actually not the problem. It was not the problem at all. It was the lines. And so that's kind of that. So it'll go back on and hopefully be good to go. There's no backside lines on these, I don't believe. So yeah, this is the dead end of the fuel rails here for each of your three cylinder bank sides. So you got the loop over here, the input there, this loops over, and both of those lines were leaking and dripping. And this car has 70-something thousand miles on it, and you can tell by the headlights how nice this thing is. This is a well kept Acura S-Type CL. So if this one's leaking, more than likely other ones have done it too. So that's kind of that. Hopefully that helps some people.